martial arts. Mixed martial arts. That's what you get. Mixed martial arts.
That's right. We are live, getting you ready for the UFC 265 post-fight press conference. We say post-fight because the card is over, and it ended with a dominant performance and eventual finish. 4 minutes and 11 seconds of round number 3. Ciryl Gane stops Derek Lewis and is the interim heavyweight champion. He has a date with destiny with his former teammate and, fellow French, individual who has ties there. That's it. There we go. God, what a terrible start to the thing. But Gane versus Ngannou is going to happen. When it's going to happen, nobody really knows. But I am Mike Heck. Thank you for joining us. I have been talking nonstop for the last 8 hours. I'm not screaming anymore like I was earlier tonight, but we just did Twitter Spaces on the MMA Fighting Twitter page for the first time for the co-main and the main event, and that was really cool. So for those of you who are watching right now and joined us for that, we appreciate that. But I am in my hotel room here in East Windsor, Connecticut, and the man with the baddest stash in MMA media, Casey Leiden, is in Houston backstage getting ready to stream the press conference. And Casey, your initial thoughts on what we saw tonight, especially the main event, Ciryl Gane's performance, becoming the interim heavyweight champion.
It was. I picked Lewis just because I kind of wanted him to win, but my brain and everything, logically said Gane should win this, and he won in such a dominant fashion. But you know what? Don't hear from me. Look who's up already.
Ciryl Gane? Oh, well, let's hear from Jose Aldo. What a performance he had tonight.
Well, Jose, congratulations on an absolutely unbelievable performance tonight. What's the feel after a victory like that?
Parabéns, antes de tudo, por uma performance inacreditável. Como é que você se sente depois de uma noite como essa?
Obrigado. Me sinto muito bem, né? Eu acho que todo treinamento foi bem feito, então faz jus à minha apresentação hoje. Sinto muito feliz pela performance.
Thank you so much. I feel that the training that we did actually came to fruition tonight, and it turned into a win.
Talk about the training. I mean, we think of you as the master of the leg kicks. Now you're the master of the jab and just incredible boxing. I mean, is that a conscious decision to change the course of your career, or is that just kind of this particular fight?
Voltando àquele treinamento que você mencionou, você era conhecido como o rei do chute. Agora você é o rei do jab. Então, estava no plano. Isso, como é que você sente essa mudança de carreira, digamos assim, maneira de agir?
Eu acho que quando eu perdi a luta pelo título, eu procurei coisas novas, né? Então eu conheci o boxe da Marinha, então eu venho treinando já há um bom período lá, e isso, cada dia que passa, deixando a minha mão muito mais habilidosa, bem rápida, forte, e treinando também o chute, que já é de praxe.
After I lost the fight, I felt that I needed to incorporate more things into my repertoire, and that's how I got into Navy sponsored boxing in Brazil, and I felt that that's how made it better, like my punches and obviously everything upper, but I'm never gonna forget the kicks.
As effective as you were, man, he showed a lot of durability. He was able to take your best shots. Was that frustrating at all that you couldn't put him out?
Ele mostrou uma durabilidade que aguentou os teus golpes. Você ficou frustrado que ele aguentou isso e você não conseguiu finalizar?
Não, acho que eu dou os parabéns ao Pedro, né, cara? Um adversário muito duro, um cara que vem bem difícil a luta, né? Então eu já esperava por isso, eu esperava ser uma luta bem aguerrida, bem disputada. Eu tenho que lutar bem no detalhe para sair vitorioso hoje.
No, he's a great fighter, and I understand that it was going to be a tough fight. It was going to be a brawl, pretty much, and I knew that this was going to happen, but it was frustrating, but I understand it was going to happen.
Nice. And last thing for me, I know that you're chasing back towards that title, but it's going to be a little bit with everything that plays out, so I'm wondering if anything else interests you, like names like a Dillashaw or a Cruz or something that could be really enticing. Do you see anything else that makes sense for you right now?
Voltando àquela pergunta de antes, você falou de passo a passo, qual seria o próximo passo? Você vê um nome como Dillashaw, uma data, o que você vê?
Para mim seria ótimo lutar com o Dillashaw, acho que vai ser uma grande luta, são dois grandes campeões. Até dezembro eu quero estar fazendo mais uma luta e espero que seja com ele.
It'd be great for me to fight with Dillashaw. Hopefully by December, I think it'd be a great fight, and that's what we expect. That's what I'm expecting right now.
Jose over here. Adding the jab to your repertoire, do you think that sends a message to any upcoming opponent in terms of what you can now do in a fight?
Adicionar o jab ao teu repertório, isso significa que você envia uma mensagem para os próximos oponentes, que é isso que eles podem esperar no futuro?
Sim, essa é a mensagem. Cada dia que passa, eu estou treinando cada vez mais. Eu estou treinando com os melhores, então pode ter certeza que a minha mão vai ficar muito mais rápida ainda.
Yes, that is the message, and I've been training this a lot, and you can wait on, and my hand is going to get quicker and quicker as time goes more forward.
Now, you kept on, every time you threw the left, you were setting up for the right, and he kept on falling for it. Was that part of the plan, or what was going on there?
Toda vez que você estava jogando a esquerda, você estava conseguindo encaixar a direita também. E é isso que é uma coisa que você estava esperando que acontecesse? É isso uma surpresa?
Sim, eu esperava por isso. Geralmente eu tenho um jab muito bom, bem rápido, e eu queria conectar alguns jab, mas às vezes eu jogava um fake para justamente colocar minha mão direita e assim chegar à vitória, né? Mas o Pedro resistiu bastante, ele segurou bem, eu acertei umas boas direitas onde que ele segurou.
Yeah, I really expected that. So the idea was actually to jab a lot and then to set up the right. So I figured that at one point or another I could feint and just fake it. Maybe I would actually connect with the right. But he's a tough fighter. He actually took it in.
Obrigado.
Nada, thank you so much. É isso? Yeah, thank you. Have a good night, my friends.
There he is, Jose Aldo, the ageless wonder. What a performance tonight. He looked phenomenal against Pedro Munoz. That was some performance. So good on him. Short and sweet. Jose needs one more good fight. He deserves another title shot. I mean, I'll tell you what, if I'm Jose Aldo right now, I am the biggest Aljamain Sterling fan on planet Earth right now, that he goes out there and retains that title against Petr Yan. I mean, that's the right way to think if you're Aldo, right? Because I mean, he got, after getting stopped by Yan a year ago, I don't think they'll be in a rush to rebook that fight.
But that was a super competitive fight. I think if Aldo wins his next fight against number one contender, I don't have no issue with him rematching Jan. Aldo's clearly getting better at bantamweight. It's like, that's the thing. Like, and I think, yeah, I mean, I'm sure Sterling, Aldo, UFC loves rematches. I mean, I think because the first fight was very competitive till it wasn't. I think it's enough to sell a rematch. But Aldo clearly needs one more shot, one more win.
Yeah, I mean, you could do him and Font, him and Sandhagen. Both of those sound good. I mean, if they want to do Aldo Dillashaw, sign me up for that. I don't think they will do that, but
I like Aldo.
I'm down, man.
Yeah. Do we know how bad Dillashaw's knee is? Has he said anything?
I mean, not that I've seen since the initial surgery post. I'm going in for surgery. I'll plan to be back soon. We'll see if he gets back at the end of the year, but he really doesn't need to, because he's probably next for the title. So Gane was the only one swinging and banging tonight. Yeah, I mean, I think we're all kind of in the same boat, that this is going to be the Cyril Gane show until Derek Lewis landed a right hand. So
it just never showed. I love Dom. I thought Dom was really good in color commentary tonight, because DC was trying to highlight, Gane's athleticism and stuff, but I thought Dom was more on point. It's like, no, it's just footwork. Like, Cyril's, I mean, obviously athleticism is important, but Cyril's footwork is just incredible at this level for a heavyweight especially. And as soon as, because you were probably watching, you're like, oh, come on, Derek Lewis, just throw something. And as soon as he threw something, Gane backs up, boom, he gets counter with a check hook or something, or just like he'll get the leg kicks, obviously, were just destroying Lewis. And so even when by the time Lewis decided, oh crap, I just got to start throwing, so I got to start swinging and banging, he had no leg to stand on. And I think at one point, like toward the end, it didn't look like he just kind of fell over. It just seemed like his leg was just like, I'm done. So
yeah, that last one was nasty. We're being told, I don't know if you saw this, but your volume is coming in super low. I don't know if there's anything you can do about that.
Oh, hello? You can hear me fine, right? I'm just not coming.
I can hear you fine, yeah.
That's weird.
Maybe the Prince of Positivity can
Hello.
can check back in and let us know what's
All right, well,
happening.
I'll try. I'll just hold
I,
it up here.
I assume Dana White is next. So why don't we play the post fight game we like to play? Who's walking away with bonuses tonight?
Performance
so you got
bonus.
the benefit.
Yeah, performance bonus. I think Gane and Luque, and fight of the night, Fazeez, Bobby Green.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. Manel Cape would definitely have gotten one tonight if he didn't miss weight. All right,
Yeah.
AK said you're better now. So all right,
I'll just hold this
yeah.
a little closer to my mouth.
Stephen Green was really fun. Yeah, I think you're probably right about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have. I don't know if I have a real argument with that. I don't think Munoz will get it for a rear naked choke.
Well, I mean,
They could give Melissa Gatto one. I mean,
I think, but
they
what
could.
I think what Luque did was just more impressive, though.
Luque should definitely get one.
Yeah, and obviously,
Gon should. I mean,
Gane has to get one. Yeah, he didn't get touched by Derek Lewis.
have to get one though. I know, but we knew that was going to happen unless
No.
Derek landed one punch.
Yeah,
This wasn't a surprising revelation. Miles Johns with a nasty KO. I mean, there's a few. I think you're right though. Trying to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah. Any other finish, but let me look at the comments. What we got here?
Yeah, and please bear with me. The internet here is not tremendous. Luque was impressive on how dude, that was a comeback, man. I thought he was so close to getting submitted, and then turned around and submitted Chiesa.
Yeah, and
Submitting Chiesa, I didn't see that coming at all.
not in the first round, especially, and not after.
No way.
Like,
No
maybe
way.
like a submission after like some serious ground and pound or something like that. But that was just straight up submission. Once Chiesa couldn't get that that kind of neck crank rear naked choke he was going for, he kind of got in that all fours like a wrestler, and just he left his head out just for 1 second, and that's all Luque needed, and just whoop, slipped in that darce. He just left the head out one moment. I don't know if that was because he was a little tired from going from that choke, and you just kind of lose your wits just for a moment. But that's the sport. One moment of just being hesitant, and at this level, guys like Luque will choke you out fast. And what's next for Luque?
I don't know, man. He's kind of in a tough spot right now. Like he's gonna have best case scenario with the way everything's shaped, because I think they'll go with Gilbert Burns versus Leon Edwards next. So if that's the case, what do you do with Luque right now? Does he get the loser of? If Colby wins, if Colby beats Usman, they're running it back a third time. And if Usman wins, you could do Luque versus Colby, but is Colby going to be even that interested in that fight? He might not have a choice, but I feel like Luque is just in a weird spot right now. Like, he could get the Leon fight. That would make sense. But I think for him, if I'm Luque right now, I'm calling out Masvidal. I'm calling out Nate. Like, those are the fights he should try to get. But my heart of hearts tells me he's kind of in a pickle right now, because I think the UFC could go back to that Nate Diaz Masvidal rematch, just because it just makes sense now. It made a lot more sense than when they tried to rebook it last year for January. But I don't know. Luque's in a weird spot, man. Even after getting such a big win, you would think that would just catapult him up there. But he can't fight Burns. I don't know if they've ever had that conversation, but those two are very chummy. They're Burns in his freaking corner tonight.
Yeah, they're not gonna fight. You gotta throw so much money at them, and it has to be for the belt. Yeah, those are two guys. I want to throw this one up. This guy's kind of talking some trash. I want to.
MMA fighting hated Gane, and everyone picked Lewis to win. There's no place for one trick pony in the highest level MMA. No one hated Gane.
That's not hating.
I literally said Cyril Gane would win every second of the fight until Lewis landed a right hand. I thought 25 minutes was just an awful long time. I thought he would land one. He didn't. He landed what? I think in that third round, in that final flurry, he probably landed 4 or 5 shots. And it's just a sickening stat. Maybe I should look it up right now. I'm curious to see what the unofficial stats look like, but at one point it was like 60-3 heading into the third round for Gane.
It was about
All right, I have to look this up.
It was about as one-sided a title fight as we've seen in a while. That wasn't like just that went past a round maybe.
All right, the final stats: 98-16 for Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane landed 98 of 122 significant strikes.
Wow.
80% total strikes, 112-16. Cyril Gane landed 112 of 136 strikes. He outlanded him 26-3 in round 1, 23-5 in round 2, and 49-8 in round 3 before he ended the fight. That's sick, man. Sick performance. Don't say we hated Gane. Listen, I think you said it perfectly. Casey. Our heads were all with Cyril Gane. I think like just our hearts were with Lewis to see if he could get that moment in front of his home crowd because somebody's here. Ah, there he is.
Yeah.
Rocking the orange tee.
What's up, gang?
Dana White.
The gate was $3.46 million. The attendance was 16,604. The fight of the night was Green versus Fiziev. And then the performances were so good, we did 3 tonight. So we did Jessica Penne, Vincente, and Miles Johns. They all won $50,000. So congratulations to them. John Morgan.
What's going on? Oh, I might be surprised that Cyril Gane didn't get a performance bonus. I mean, I think he's got bigger paychecks coming on the way anyway. But
he did have a great performance. That's true. Well, how come we didn't talk about that in there? That was Sean. That's right. Yeah. Cyril. Fuck it. He gets $50,000 too. There you go. Good job, John Morgan. Get all the credit for that one.
that's funny.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true. Cyril Gane should absolutely get the performance.
yeah, can you talk about what you saw on their night? Because, I mean, we knew he was a great fighter, right? Undefeated, but he was criticized a little bit for his last 2 performances, being too careful, too patient, not engaging enough. Here it seems like he showed a little bit of both sides, right?
Well,
he was smart and then got it done.
I got asked that during press day, and apparently one of the guys was saying that I had said that he was a boring fighter. I don't ever remember saying that. I don't ever remember calling him boring. Listen, if I said it, I'll own it. But I think that this guy has a style. He's a big, powerful, badass heavyweight who moves like a middleweight. You saw it tonight what he was able to do to Derek Lewis, completely shut him down. The punch that I don't know specific numbers, but it was in the hundreds, and Derek was like 3. I mean, he completely shut him down, put on a clinic, looked good doing it, made it look easy against a guy who can turn the lights out with one punch. This kid's super talented, and listen, when you start getting sucked into listening to people talk about, oh, you're boring and you're this and that, you got to tune that shit out and fight your style and fight the way that you fight. And that's what he did tonight. The other thing that impressed me with him is I was curious to see how he was going to stand up to the pressure of his first big main event. The crowds. It's definitely different. And you're in his backyard. You're in his hometown. So the guy couldn't have shined any more than he did tonight.
Yeah, no question. Can you talk about, what he means to the company? Now, obviously, France is a new territory. It's finally legal now. Can't necessarily go there right now, but I mean, is that exciting when you get somebody that's a champ from another country? And what does that mean?
What do I always say? Everything in life is about timing. And this kid becomes the heavyweight champion tonight, and we worked long and hard and spent a lot of money to get France done. And here we are.
That's nice. Now, you made it clear, obviously, the next fight is the unification fight. Francis Ngannou is next. Francis came out this week and said it's been radio silence from the UFC. He hasn't heard anything. So
there's nothing to hear. He wasn't fighting this weekend. What was there to hear?
So do you have any idea how when that fight could possibly happen, or how soon you'd like to do it?
Do I ever know the night of the fight, when that fight will happen?
Sometimes, every now and then.
Never. I never know. So ASAP. We'll get it done as soon as it's possible to do.
Just a couple quick ones outside the main event. Jose Aldo just continues to defy Father Time. What do you think about him, and what do you see? I mean, it's obviously a title fight is what he wants. That's not available now, but do you see matchups like a Dillashaw, a Cruz, something like that makes sense for him?
Tonight was a very tough fight for him and a dangerous fight, especially a guy like Pedro, who's ranked number 9, and Jose looked awesome tonight. Looked so good tonight. I thought that when I saw him at the press conference, he looked super skinny to me, when he was cutting, but physically he looked unbelievable tonight. He was ripped to shreds like back in the day when he was the champ, and he had the cardio, speed, the leg kicks again. I mean, he looked nasty tonight.
Last one I want to ask you about was Luque. He's kind of we've had this deep welterweight division, but he hasn't really been in that conversation with like the Edwards, the Covington, the Masvidal. He hasn't been there. Do you feel after tonight he deserves to be in those same conversations?
Well, he is now. You can't talk without talking about him now. First of all, that kid is fun to watch. When he beat Woodley, Woodley's former world champ, but Woodley hadn't won a fight in 3 years. You know what I mean? He beat Woodley. Okay. Tonight, not only did he beat Michael Chiesa, but when he went for that choke, I was like, why are you trying to submit Michael Chiesa? Get back up on your feet and whatever. And he got it, and he did it. I love to watch that kid fight. He's exciting. He's a killer. And I look forward to what's next for him. And yes, you can't talk about all the top guys in the world without talking about Luque now.
Dana, there's no way you could have scripted this on your right. There's no way you could have scripted this. Derek Lewis had no reason fighting Cyril Gane. The guy that he should have fought was Francis Ngannou. Cyril Gane and Francis Ngannou were teammates. Now Gane is the interim, and when you make this heavyweight unification, it's between 2 former teammates where there's been some bad blood in there when Ngannou left their camp. There's no way you could have scripted this. I mean, this works perfectly in your
Thank you,
opinion,
sir.
right? I'm asking. It works
I could not agree with you more. You are correct. I agree. It's badass, and what I love is when we were going into this fight, I was telling everybody, and it's absolutely true. You have 2 of the best possible heavyweights in the world fighting each other. You have the guy who beat Francis Ngannou, right? And a guy who's undefeated with the whole backstory that you just said, right? This fight got a lot of heat, created a lot of interest. Cyril Gane goes out tonight. He looks incredible. Like he said earlier, we've been working a long time on getting France open. France is open now, and we just got a TV deal in France, and here we are. And now the 2, what you always want to do when you either build fighters, build fights, or put on fights is you want to have the best possible guys fighting each other that you possibly can. It doesn't get any better than this. You couldn't write it. You couldn't script it. Fucking Vince couldn't have wrote a better script for this whole thing. It's beautiful, and I agree with you, sir. And I'm glad you noticed.
Last one. Do you think Derek Lewis, the pressure was too much for him?
No.
Because when he came out, though, he looked a little tensed.
Cyril Gane was too much for him. Cyril Gane moves like a middleweight. His footwork is unbelievable. This guy stays on his toes the whole time, stays on the outside and picks you apart. He is a very talented fighter. And he's also, his fight IQ is through the roof. This guy's the real deal. Him and Francis is a badass heavyweight fight.
Great script.
Yep.
Dana over here. What's up, buddy?
How are you?
So we talked about Francis, Derek Lewis. You ain't said nothing about Mr. Jones. Is he just the odd man out? Are you calling his phone?
He's not fighting until next year. It's 2021, my brother. He's not fighting until 22. So I'm not even thinking about him until 22.
Give some insight on Tisha Torres' performance. She's had the rough 2020, and she's came back strong. She was putting them hands on her today.
Yeah, no, let me tell you what. I thought Tisha was going to come out and try to push her against the fence. And, she came out, guns a-blazing. She looked better tonight than she's ever looked in any of her fights she's ever had. She looked incredible tonight. She put on a great performance.
Y'all usually don't go to places 2 times in 1 year. What is it about Houston, Texas that draws y'all? Y'all have had 2 crazy cards here, 2 crazy crowds, and it just seems like it works at UFC in Houston.
Yeah, it's back-to-back sellouts here. What isn't to like about Houston? The fans here are great. I love everything about the city, and with what's going on in the world right now, the easiest places to put on events are Texas and Florida. So see what happens.
Of course, you're not. I know you're not a doctor or anything. Have y'all looked at past September for doing fights or anything like that on the pay-per-view cards? Are y'all still going over to Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, I go on vacation tonight, and then when I get back, I'm planning my trip to Abu Dhabi.
Dana, down here to your right. I'm interrupting.
Oh, right. Hey, yeah, gotcha.
Okay.
There you go. Sorry about that. You talked about Houston, Texas, Dana. I'm sorry about
I'll
it.
get you next. That's all right. I'll get him next. Go ahead.
What about talking about Paris? We got a French champion now, and Francis Ngannou used to practice and train in France, and even though he's from Cameroon, he lived in France. Can we expect a big championship between Francis Ngannou and Cyril Gane in Paris?
You can only hope so. Like this gentleman and I were just discussing, it couldn't play out any better than it has. The only kink in the whole perfect story is the crazy shit that's going on in the world right now. So I don't know. In the perfect script, yes, we go to France and we do that fight there. That would be amazing. But I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out.
How important is it to you and the UFC to have Cyril Gane and Francis Ngannou that are not US and that could help develop the image of the UFC and the MMA around the world?
What's the question?
How important is it to you?
That's what we've been working on for all these years. You know, we've been working to go into these different countries. If you look at what Conor McGregor did for Europe, you know, and other parts of which what Francis and Cyril will do for France and Africa and many other places. So, yes, it's very important to us.
I know it's pretty specific, and it will be my last question, but what about Africa? Can you expect a big fight and a big event in Africa?
You know what I guarantee you I can do? Florida and Texas, okay? Florida and Texas I can do for the next however many years. I don't know about anywhere else right now. So we'll see. But yes, provided everything goes right, I would love to do a fight now. To be honest with you, my whole life, I've always dreamt of doing a fight in Africa. I've always wanted to do it. So that will be a big one and another monumental moment in my life.
All right. Yeah. Do you see Gane as almost representation of the evolution of MMA? A heavyweight who can move like that, who is that tactical. On top of that, he was born in France. I mean, a heavyweight at that level, born in France. I mean, even like 5 years ago, that seemed like it would be impossible.
Well, I don't know if he's the evolution, but you know, he's a freak athlete. I mean, every once in a while you'll come across freaks in different weight classes, and he's definitely one of those guys. I mean, he's a big, powerful dude. I mean, when you look at him, and when he walked into the octagon tonight, I was like, holy shit. Well, when I was doing the stare downs with these guys, I mean, let's fucking be honest here.
You weren't doing nothing.
Yeah, I was doing nothing. You know, if that decided to go wrong, I'd ended up in the 6th row of the stands, not the floor. They would have ragdolled me into the. It just, I can't explain to you in words the power. When I was in between these guys, it's just like very humbling, man. Two seriously powerful human beings. And when you look at Cyril Gane, and we walked in tonight, and you look at the way that guy moves on his feet, we're in the 3rd round, and he's moving in the 3rd round like he moved in the 1st round. His cardio's unbelievable. His footwork is unbelievable. He's a freak of nature athlete.
And then, to have someone like him at that level, training for such a short period of time from France, a place that only got legalized for MMA last year. I mean, it's kind of a, like you said, timing earlier. It's almost impossible to imagine someone that good being born in France and kind of rising that so quickly, right?
Yeah, but if you look at where they both came from the same coach. You got to start saying, this guy's pretty talented.
Yeah.
The coach, I mean.
Dana, down here. I'm curious, down in front of you. Obviously, a big part of this story for the fight between Francis and Cyril is going to be the fact they used to train together. Did you ever hear anything about their sparring sessions that gives you an indication of what that fight could look like?
I never did. I just saw that Brett Okamoto posted some, some footage of them moving around together. That's all I've seen.
When a fight like this comes together, I can tell you're quite excited about it. Do you start making calls, being like, how does it go?
No, I don't. But yeah, I'm super excited about this. It's like this gentleman said earlier. You literally this couldn't be played out any better than it was, and this fight had some hype behind it tonight. This fight did good numbers too. So people know who Cyril Gane is now, and they know the storyline, and I'm sure a lot of people are excited to see this fight now.
Just wanted to ask you one more question about the Bobby Green Rafael Fiziev fight. Does that Fiziev look like the next sort of potential big star at lightweight? He's such an exciting fighter.
Yeah, I mean that fight was awesome, Bobby Green. I mean, when we made that fight, I mean that's one of my if you don't know, now you know this week, is Bobby Green brings it. This guy's fought everybody, and we expected Fiziev to do what he did tonight, and the guy has a ton of potential. Tough, durable.
Not a 30-27 card though. Someone scored it at 30-27.
Yeah, that was bad. Very bad. We'll be talking about that every week, so I mean that's not going to change. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Dana. Excellent night. Just curious, with the performance of Vicente Luque and the way the welterweight division shaping out with the title fight in November, is it safe to say that Leon Edwards is going to have to take another fight before earning the title shot?
I don't know right here off the top of my head, but yeah, probably a good idea. I mean, the guy's fought one time in the last 2 years, I think.
And then the last question is, with Stipe Miocic, the next time he enters the octagon, will it be for the title fight?
I don't know. The beautiful thing about this division right now is we have this fight tonight. Now, Francis versus Cyril, and you got John Jones out there in 2022, and you got Stipe out there still too. So that means there's a lot of fun coming up over the next year and a half.
Dana, right here in the back. You said earlier that Gane, he was just too much for Derek Lewis. I mean, do you think this is something that Derek Lewis could evolve from and maybe close that discrepancy? Like, how much of a discrepancy are we talking about, do you think?
Well, listen, he's one of the best heavyweights in the world. What tonight showed you and showed the rest of the world is how good Cyril Gane really is. You know what I mean? He made Derek Lewis. Does anybody know the punch stats for real off the top of their head? Anybody? 104-8? So 104-8.
Wow.
I mean, what's that tell you? And we all know who Derek Lewis is, and that
Absolutely.
Derek's one of the best in the world. He's been in there with guys that are great athletes, probably much better than him, should have beat him, but he caught him. He caught him with that punch, and he ends up knocking him out. He couldn't do anything in there tonight against Cyril Gane. That's how good Cyril Gane is, And if you just tuned in, and you never watched MMA before, you'd be like, oh, this athletic guy's beating up on this guy that doesn't look like he belongs in there. But we know that's not the case. We know exactly who Derek Lewis is. And tonight was just Cyril Gane's coming out party, All the talk about, oh, you're boring or you're this or you're that. Now, that dude is for real. And tonight, you talk about the pressure that he must have been under. Guy's been getting booed for a week. Nobody here likes him. They're chanting USA, yada, yada, yada. He went out there and put on an unbelievable performance. And like I told Mark earlier, he's a freak of nature athlete. This guy's that good.
And then just one more on Song Yadong. I mean, he came out at one point at the presser and said that his opponent looked slow. I mean, he's only 23 years old. What do you make of his performance?
He said his opponent looks what?
Slow.
Slow?
He said Kenny actually looks slow. I mean, he might have said it tongue in cheek, but he's only 23 years old. I mean, where do you see this guy in a couple of years?
I was talking about that to the matchmakers tonight during the fight. This kid's only 23. How good do you think this guy's going to be when he's 27? You know what I mean? Yeah, he's super talented. I agree with you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, Dana.
What's up, buddy?
What is the status of the women's bantamweight division? We talked to Julia Payne tonight. She's hoping for an interim belt.
She's been terrorizing me all week.
Yeah.
We will turn this thing around as soon as possible, and yeah, she's going to get her fight.
Would there be an interim title, or is it Amanda Nunes? Or
she asked me that too. Yeah,
okay.
No.
Well, we talked to her.
This is what happened tonight in the heavyweight division compared to what's going on over there in that division is apples and oranges. You can't even compare them. she didn't disagree with that either when I told her they're apples and oranges. Anybody else? Thank you. Yep. What's up?
Give us some insight on that $1 billion streaming deal. I know that's progressive sport. That's big time stuff right there.
Is that what? What's the question?
The $1 billion streaming deal that y'all got.
The streaming deal?
Yeah.
What about it?
How that put y'all up there with the big boys with the big TV deal that people. I'm pretty sure about 4 or 5 years ago you were wanting this. It's kind of, I'm gonna say it's a dream come true, but I'm pretty sure it's been on your priority list.
Well, there's I say it to you guys every week. This sport's on fire right now, man. I mean, if you look at what we've done through the pandemic and then coming out of the pandemic, the sport just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, it's awesome. It's all good, man. And once everything starts to open up again and get back to normal, I'm looking forward to all the different things that are possible with this sport right now, where we're going, where we're headed. I mean, it's incredible, and it's good for all of us. It's good for you, it's good for me, and it's obviously incredible for the fighters. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
All right, Dana White. What was that? I don't know. 155 minutes. Here we go. We gave you the correct numbers of the striking earlier, ladies and gentlemen. It was not something. It was 112 to 16. Not a big difference, but 112 to 16 was the final numbers. Insane.
I tried to get an answer in the interim belt for Julia Pena. Apples and oranges, I guess. So, all right.
Oh man! As soon as he said that, I was like, "Oh man, Casey's just gotta." You should have just kept going, man.
I thought about it. I was like, it's late.
You kept going. Yeah, you kept going. We only got the streaming question.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So 4 performance bonuses. We were like a ball. I think everybody was. We were both right. I didn't say. I forgot about Penne.
Me too. I don't know how I forgot about that, but I usually start at the top. No, the highest fights and kind of go down. And I just kind of ran out of money, but apparently the UFC, broke their budget tonight, and they threw out the extra 100K out.
Yep, and nobody on the roster, nobody in the media all week asked about the $75,000 bonuses. If someone had mentioned it, I wonder if they would have done that.
But it's not.
I don't think we would have got. I don't think we would have got 4.
It's not our job. It's not our job to try to get these fighters more money. We just,
I know, and I'm not. The fighters didn't say it either.
I know, that's the problem. Yeah,
that's how both got it. That's how it happened. Sean O'Malley for that card, and Tony Ferguson for the first Houston card. Got the $75,000 bonus. So there you go. A lot to unpack from Dana White. It was a great performance from Cyril Gane. I agreed with a lot of the things he said. Fiziev being a potential stud at one. I mean, he is a stud. It's real good.
One thing I didn't agree with. I know he kept kind of harping on Cyril Gane's athleticism and stuff, but I mean, Greg Hardy is athletic. He's a super athlete. That only takes you so far in the sport. It's really he's such a highly technical and highly patient fighter, and I know Dana didn't straight up say Gane was boring, but do you remember his actual quotes? I think he said something to the same effect. I don't think he literally said boring. I think it was after the Rosenstruck fight. Do you remember what Dana said?
Yeah, I don't remember what he said. I don't think he said boring.
It wasn't boring, but
I think he probably said like
it wasn't complimentary.
He probably said like it wasn't very good or something to that effect.
Yeah.
But he was damn good tonight. Damn good tonight. So we'll hear from Cyril Gane, from Derek Lewis. I don't know. What are the peeps saying? Who would fight for the interim belt with Juliana? Good question. That's a good GDR.
If they can get GDR back, I've heard things that she's not really even fighting or training right now. So, to me, I think either it's kind of a toss between. Well, Aspen Ladd didn't get to fight last weekend, so that kind of sucks. So I figure Aspen
Yeah,
would
it's
be
not,
right
it's not
up
her.
there. I mean, if you don't, UFC's giving title fights for people missing weight, so I think Aldana is still in the conversation with her knockout victory over Kunitskaya a few weeks back. I would think Julia Pena versus Aldana or GDR. GDR is probably the first choice, then Aldana. But the UFC's women's bantamweight division is not looking good right now. They need to, I don't know what's going on.
She had hand surgery in March. GDR did. So I don't know how long she's gonna be on the shelf for, but when I spoke to Jermaine after the Juliana Pena win, she's close to the end.
Yeah, that's why I keep
She wants the Nunes fight, and she said she's willing to put her career on the line to fight Amanda Nunes. She will fight Amanda, and if she loses, she will walk away. She will be done. Which is why, like, I kept kind of like pushing for that fight to happen again, just because for Amanda, like, that's the more interesting option because like the stakes are high. Like, it's either Jermaine Durand becomes bantamweight champion or she leaves. How did the comment? Wasn't commentary. I was the ring announcer. Yeah, it was fun, man. Good fights, a lot of big finishes, some solid prospects. There's a pro welterweight who was in the main event of that card, had a violent finish. He's a guy you could see on the Contender Series, maybe a last minute replacement fight this year, definitely next year. His name's Connor Barry. Dude is real good. I think he improved to 7-3 tonight, but he's fought the who's who, and like some of his losses were super questionable, and we'll leave it at that. But yeah, there's some pretty good talent out there tonight. Nick Newell was in the house. That interview I talked to Nick Newell on Thursday. Yeah, it was on Thursday. That interview will probably get released maybe Monday. Yeah, it'll probably get released Monday because Nick Newell's movie's out, and we talked about it'll be a little outdated when it gets released because we talked about like the weekend and him coaching, and both of his fighters won this weekend. And Glover Teixeira was also in the building tonight, and he was a 3-0 coach tonight as well. All three of his fighters won tonight. Good to see Glover in good spirits.
And Glover's fighting when? I forget. When is that fight?
October 30th.
That seems far away, but pretty soon it won't be far away.
It'll be here so fast. So fast. Yeah, the ring announcing gig was great. There was probably 2,000 people there, which is really cool for a regional show.
2,000
I had a blast.
people?
I had very little voice. Yeah, it was like there's 2,000 people there.
Oh, that is
easy.
That's a chunk of people for a regional show.
Yeah, ruckus crowd.
All right. So
what else we got?
Hit us up with some comments, people. I'd love to hear from you. This is
one of those cards that were like, we don't have to ask a ton of questions. Like, there's the two biggest storylines coming out of this, at least like for the future of things we don't know the answers to, are what's next for Jose Aldo and what's next for Vicente Luque. Like, and both of those are very loaded questions.
Yeah.
So that'll be some fun chatter this week. Boring fight if you're a Lewis fan. I think Gane looked incredible, especially last minute. John Wick performance.
Gane looked incredible the whole fight.
We told you this is going to be this. We told you this was the fight unless Derek landed a right hand. I mean, and I think everybody sort of agreed with that. Like, even on Twitter Space, we brought people in to make predictions, and everyone kind of felt the same thing. Like, we saw the betting lines. The bettors felt the same way. You hate to just throw out like, oh, he's got a puncher's chance, but this was literally the fight. Like, Gane was just so technically good. And, you brought up the athleticism thing, and you make a great point that, like, it's not just athleticism. It's turning that athleticism into the fight game.
Yeah.
And Gane does that so well. Like, he's able to just flow in there and use that athleticism, like, to improve his fighting. It's so sick to watch him, man, when he gets in that flow state. The way he was mixing it up, and like he would land like a left-right combination and then follow up with a nasty leg kick. It was just so quick, and like you didn't see it coming. He didn't let anything be obvious. It was just so impressive. Gane will be the best heavyweight of all time. I mean, we'll see. He's definitely on that path. He's 10 and that was his 10th pro fight. That's crazy.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Has Gane even lost like a minute of a fight?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I haven't seen him in real trouble at all.
Yeah, I mean, of
I
course
think that
he's got
honestly,
punched,
I think the most competitive fight he was in was the Tanner Boser fight, and even then, I don't think he lost a round in that fight. I'm trying to remember, but it was definitely the most competitive fight he had. But that was also like his 4th or 5th pro fight.
and he's getting better.
The dude's just getting better.
Oh man. So you know,
Can we start talking, by the way, about Fernand Lopez as being one of the most underrated coaches in MMA?
I
mean, look what he did. Francis Ngannou
appreciate,
fought for a title. Yeah, and now he's got Cyril Gane as the interim champion. Like, Fernand Lopez is a really good coach and does not get enough credit. Like, he is not in those conversations. And I'll tell you what, he's a guy that will, at the end of the year, especially if Gane, like, if some reason like they make this Gane and Ngannou fight before the end of the year and Gane wins the title, Fernand Lopez has a very good chance of being the coach of the year. Very good chance.
Well, he's got to compete. He has to compete with Habib. You know, Habib right now is #1 coach of the year.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe Glover Teixeira. I mean, Glover Teixeira is a great coach too. I saw it tonight. Maybe Nick Newell. Who the hell knows? Gane. Damn, he's well on his way. I mean, to be the best. If there's any division where, like, you can make that point right now, it's probably. It probably is heavyweight. Stipe's the guy right now. I mean, unless you want to throw Fedor in there, which you know.
I mean, that's kind of that's different conversation.
Yeah, different conversation.
No Derek. I figure. Yeah, sorry. No Derek Lewis, but I figured that wasn't.
No Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
How about Mark Raimondi getting straight up interrupted?
Yeah.
Raimondi's getting ready to ask a question. Dana looks at him, and then someone just jumps over him.
Yeah. Dude, Raimondi was crying. Okay, like, man, I like Mark and everything, but he was kind of crying when he got. Little tears were rolling down his eye. It was bad. It was like
he got leapfrogged.
Yeah, Oscar Willis was like petting his back, like consoling him, and like Oscar was like, "It's all right, Mark. It's okay."
He must be sitting like immediately to your left.
That's what sucks doing these. Like, so I'm talking, but like everyone can hear me. Like, it's just.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to.
Do you have any other great comments from the people?
The question I did want to ask in the presser, but I knew I wouldn't get a real answer. Is he Gane guaranteed the next title fight, the title shot? Because honestly, I don't believe it. If they can come to terms with John Jones next week and John will fight for $1 million or something like that, you know, 1/5 of his asking price or whatever, I absolutely believe they would do Ngannou Jones. Do you believe Gane is absolutely the guy that's fighting Ngannou next? Because
yes, I do.
You actually do?
I mean, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to hold John out at this point. Like, if we're gonna wait till 2022 for John Jones to fight, like, who cares? Like, what's 6 months at this point? 8 months, 9 months. He's already been out that long. He's just gonna get bigger and, you know, fill that frame and get used to that extra mass better. It's going to make him more ready. But I think we're going to hear from the brand new interim heavyweight champion of the world, Bongamin, Cyril Gane.
Cyril, congratulations, of course, on the victory. I mean, you promised a masterclass coming in. Do you feel like that's what you delivered tonight?
Oh yes, I think it was that. He touched me maybe 1 time, 2 times. He gave me a poke eyes. My vision was flou, comme on dit flou, blurring for all the fight. It was not easy to manage this, but yes, it was. I think it was a masterclass. Yeah.
Let's talk about the feel coming in, right? We worried, you know, how would you perform in front of the huge crowd, in front of the boos, and you know, the first big event was the feeling any different? Any pressure? Any nerves more than the fights at the Apex?
No, we nothing. It was just handsome. It was the show was really perfect. It was not for us, but it was like it was a little bit like for us, but it was for Derek Lewis. But yes, this was awesome. The fan, when the light put down, the music, the entrance of Derek Lewis, with the screen. What is that? The screen. It was really crazy. Really great show.
Obviously, Derek Lewis, we know what he brings to the cage, right? It's the big right hand, the one big shot. You knew what you were going to face, but how was it being in there? Was it exactly as you expected? Was he a little faster? Was he stronger? What was the feeling there?
The feeling was exactly what we expected. Exactly what we expected. That's why he never touched me. He never touched me. Never touched me. Every time, maybe he land 10 times his right hand. He never touched me 100%. And because we work on it, because we expected on it, and we did it well.
You fought very intelligently, and then the third round, you really kind of turned it up a little bit and got the finish. What did you see to say, okay, now's the moment to really attack? Because obviously when you attack, you put yourself at risk.
Yeah, I was not sure because at the first time I thought it was done and the referee gonna stop the fight, but he didn't did. Yeah, at the second time my coach said, let's go. All the coach, all the team say, let's go. So I do it, and yeah, the referee stopped it.
It's still very early in your career, but there you are with the UFC belt. Can you just say what this moment means to you right now?
I don't know exactly. A little bit strange because, yeah, like you say, but it look a little bit normal. Comment tu dis? Yeah, it's really thankful. I'm really happy. I'm really proud. And this is not exactly for me. This is for my coach, Fernando Lopez. Everybody knows the story with Francis, though he was really close to have the bet, and unfortunately he moved in Vegas. And this is also from my MMA factory, my gym. This is for the fan in France. This is for my country. So this is for my family. I'm so happy. Yeah.
That's awesome. And then last thing for me, you'll obviously want to celebrate and enjoy it, but we know the unification fight is next. Ideally, when would you like to see that fight happen? I know you want to spend some time with the family, but when would you like to fight Francis? When would it work for you?
When exactly? Maybe some people ask me maybe for the end of this year. It's possible, yeah, it's possible. But yes, I did a lot since 1.5 years, and I have a baby, I'm waiting for a baby, so I just want to rest a little bit, a few months. And I don't know exactly. We will see.
Cyril, you came out to tipping on 4-4s, wrapped in 4-4s. That's a Houston classic. On Wednesday, when you played that, did you know when we were together, when you played that, did you know you were going to actually walk out to that today?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. This is a classic music. This is a classic music with a rapper from Houston. I love the culture from Houston. And there are a lot of rappers with DJ Screw, Big Mo, and a lot of guys. And I love this.
You talked about how American black culture shaped a lot of your growing up compared to French culture. Do you understand that you trolled the fans in Houston when you came out to that song? Because they actually thought Derek Lewis was coming out.
Yeah, because I think he thought it was for Derek Lewis' song, and it was mine. So it was at first, woo, and a few seconds after, when he saw my face, it was a boo. It was a little bit funny, yeah.
Now, has it set in yet that you are a superstar now in the UFC? Because you are the first French-born champion. Now, that's not just for France. That's for a lot of French-speaking countries as well, too. You are a bona fide superstar, even though it's an interim belt. Has that set in yet at all for you?
No. I'm clearly aware about all of this around me, and I just want to take it cool, just cool. Yes, of course, I did it. I did something really crazy. I started that just a few years ago. Who did it? Who? So yes, I think this is mean something, but I would just want to take it like really cool.
Are you gonna have to up your security? You can't walk around the streets of Paris just anyhow anymore.
No, the people are really nice with me, and I love to take time with us.
Talk about Fernando Lopez, Benjamin Safati, and MMA Factory. Now, they had gone for the belt in the past, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
If you had lost it, it would have been 0-2. Now that you guys actually have a belt, how important is it for the gym, for the fighters in that gym, not just the African fighters, but all the other fighters from Dagestan and all the other parts of the world, to see that it is possible, it's doable?
Exactly. This is my message. When I started the MMA, when I did very well in my career, the message was exactly that. Yeah, everything is possible. Believe in yourself. I can do it. You can do it too. It's really possible. You are in the good gym. You have Fernando Lopez, Ben. You have the biggest trainer in France, in Europe, in the world, and you are on the good place, my man. You just believe on you, and you're gonna do it.
Last question. Who's going to sleep with the belt tonight? You, your brother David, or Fernand?
No, this is for my guys. This is for my guys. I don't know who exactly. Maybe at first it's gonna be my big brother because he lives in Boston. So you're gonna fight? Okay, cool. At the hotel at my night, guys. A fight with Fernando Lopez and my man.
Cyril over here. Congratulations, brother.
Thank you.
Now that you got that belt, do you feel you're the best heavyweight in the world?
I don't know. I ask you the question. What do you think?
Hey, you put on the show today, man. You shut out one of the heaviest hitters in UFC history, so props to you.
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, I think I'm one of the best of the world now. I think this has meant something, so yes.
No, I said, do you think you are the best?
I don't want to say that because the champion is still Francis Ngannou, and I must to fight all the guys of the roster to be the best. I think I need to prove. I just started, so I need to prove for a few years, and after that, maybe I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm the best.
Dana said that's the next fight. Is there a real beef between y'all, or is it just competitive? Like, who is the better guy?
Oh no, for me it's just a sport. No, it's just a sport. It's just a sport. I don't just want to make a show. I just want to do a performance, and this is my job. This is my job, and I just want to make money with that.
And as my guy alluded earlier, being from Texas, that was the ultimate troll job coming out to tipping on fofos. When he came out, how calm? You seem like you just locked in and you kind of went to another zone. How was that moment to be in that moment where everybody's booing you? You got the whole city of Houston against you, and you just like you're in your own space. How does it be like that in the biggest fight of your career?
Really normal for me. I was all ready for that. And this is a sport. This is it's not the first time exactly. It's not the first time, and this is a sport that's really normal. And no, doesn't bother me. This really doesn't bother me, and I knew that already.
How big would it be if you and Francis get to do y'all thing in France and headline the first UFC card in France?
Qu'est-ce que j'en pense? Yeah. I want to bring the UFC in my country. I want that.
And final question for me: what do you think is going to be different when you go back home that wasn't existed before you got this belt tonight? How do you think your life has changed?
No. Really no. Now you know me a little bit now. I'm really cool. I'm really okay with that. Yes, I'm happy, but no, nothing gonna change. Maybe with the media, maybe with the attention, with the people outside, with the fan, but it's gonna be okay.
Cyril, down here to your right over here. Francis Ngannou is the heavyweight champion. You're the interim heavyweight champion. You had the same coach. You know, the same coach brought you guys up, Fernando Lopez. What does that say about how good of a coach Coach Lopez is?
It's a genius, exactly. It's a genius. Every time he can see the future. When we met him at first in the MMA factory, and I did just 2 training. He told me one day this guy is gonna be a champion, and he take care of me. And now today we did it. So
obviously you and Francis have trained together. You sparred together. Is that any kind of an advantage now going into a real fight with him, that you already kind of know what to expect?
For the fight with Francis, sorry?
Yes. Yeah, because you've already trained and sparred with him, so you know a little bit about how he fights.
Yeah, the training is something. The fight is another thing. Yeah, not surprised. Everybody know Francis his strength. Everybody know what is my strength, and we will see. We will see. But for the moment, I don't want to thinking about that. I just want to rest a little bit and to enjoy. No, welcome. Mon français.
Voilà, exactement. En français, de façon à ce que les images tournent au maximum chez nous. Qu'est-ce que ça représente pour toi, Cyril, cette victoire à l'UFC? Tu es le premier champion français de l'UFC. Ça représente un truc complètement dingue pour nous et pour le sport.
Pour l'histoire du sport, c'est cool. C'est vrai que pour l'histoire du sport, c'est vraiment quelque chose de fou. Premier Français champion à l'UFC. Connaissant mon parcours, en fait, c'est ça qui est assez incroyable. Donc, je suis super fier de ça. C'est vrai que je suis super fier de ça. Mais au-delà de ça, c'est pas quelque chose qui va. Ce soir, je vais me coucher, quoi. J'ai un peu d'adrénaline du combat, mais c'est pas parce que j'ai ça que je vais pas pouvoir bien dormir. Hein. Au contraire. Mais je suis super content de ramener ça en France. Je suis vraiment content de ramener ça en France.
Est-ce que c'est aussi un message d'espoir justement pour tous les jeunes, leur dire que déjà le MMA c'est génial, c'est un vrai sport, c'est pas un truc de racaille, de combat, et puis 2 que c'est possible quoi.
Voilà, il faut être discipliné, il faut croire en soi, il faut bien s'entourer, comme j'ai toujours dit depuis que j'ai commencé ma carrière de MMA, et tout peut arriver, tout peut arriver. Le MMA c'est un sport très rapide en termes d'ascension. On le voit encore avec mon coéquipier Nassourdine Mavov qui est en train de gravir les échelons à vitesse grand V, et lui aussi je pense que ça va donner quelque chose de pas mal. Donc mon message il est celui-là, tout est possible, croyez en vous, entourez-vous bien et foncez.
Est-ce que ton image, tu penses qu'elle va changer maintenant en France? Alors tu as une superbe image parce que on t'appelle le bon gamin, mais tu as toujours le mot pour tes partenaires, ton entourage, ta famille, avant même de penser à toi, sans te rendre compte finalement que tu es champion. T'es champion aujourd'hui.
Ouais, je suis champion, mais franchement je te jure, je le vis vraiment comme ça, c'est vraiment pas pour moi. Ça c'est pas pour moi, je te jure c'est pas pour moi. C'est de voir le sourire sur la tête de mon frangin qui m'a vu grandir comme un. Tu vois ce que je veux dire? Au bout de 3 ans, il me voit champion de l'UFC, mais c'est n'importe quoi ce qui se passe. La fierté de mes parents, la fierté de mes coachs, tu vois, c'est ça qui me fait kiffer. C'est ces moments de vie-là. Ça c'est bien, ouais, of course, mais c'est tout ce que ça engendre à côté.
Dernière question, parce que pour nous c'est encore plus fort. J'ai posé la question à Dana White de lui dire ça y est, logiquement le prochain combat c'est face à Francis Ngannou. Ça peut être à la fin de l'année. Alors il y a les problèmes de Covid, etc. Mais ça peut se faire à Paris. Qu'est-ce que ça représenterait pour toi de combattre pour la ceinture de champion régulier face à Francis Ngannou, l'ancien du MMA Factory, avec l'histoire qu'il y a avec Fernand Lopez, devenir champion du monde face à ton ancien coéquipier quoi, à la maison?
Ce serait super. Franchement, si ça pouvait se faire en France, ce serait super. Ce serait vraiment super. Et on va tout faire pour que ça se fasse en France. Et ce serait un bon départ pour l'UFC en France. Ce serait un énorme départ. Et je pense qu'on ne pourra pas faire un meilleur départ en tant qu'événement en France pour l'UFC. Je pense que ce serait un très très gros succès. Et ce serait une fierté d'apporter ça en France, bien sûr.
Félicitations de façon personnelle,
Merci.
parce que tu es un bel ambassadeur. Continue.
Merci beaucoup, c'est gentil.
Congratulations, champ.
Thank you.
I don't know if you heard, but Dana White announced there's an extra performance bonus. So you
Thank you.
got extra 50K.
Thank
Thanks
you.
to this gentleman right here, actually. He
Yeah.
suggested it. So.
Beautiful, thank
give
you.
him 10%. You know.
Thank you.
But now that you've defeated Derek Lewis, can you share maybe some of your game plans or what you were training specifically to fight Derek Lewis? Was it difficult to train for him, or was it just you just got to watch out for this one thing?
No, it was not really difficult. We worked a lot on it, and we did a really great job during my camp. And yes, it was the game plan. Not exactly the low kick, because everybody know Derek Lewis can catch my legs. He liked to do that, catch the legs and go with his right hand. So he was not exactly on the low kick. But when I saw it was okay, I kept the way and we did it, and I think this has helped me to win this fight.
And you've said consistently that this is a sport. This is a sport.
Yeah.
This is just competition. This is a very scary person across the cage from you. You don't look nervous. You don't seem scared. But are you inside or no, not at all? It's just like playing a game of basketball or football.
Exactly. No, you're going to know me better and better, more and more. I'm like that. I'm really like that. I'm not an actor. And when I started, I was like that. After 3 years for the belt, entering belt, I'm like that. Tomorrow, I'm going to be like that too. I'm okay with the whole situation. This is a sport for me. I just have a good feeling with me, around me, and that's it. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
There he is, Cyril Gane. What a performance tonight. The new UFC interim heavyweight champion. A fight between him and Francis Ngannou is just really, really fascinating right now. I think with his style, what he brings to the table, the skills. Fernand Lopez is the coach who's very familiar with Francis Ngannou. The athleticism as in the fight sport and the way he just approaches the game in general, and you heard it all there. It's a really interesting fight, a really interesting challenge for Francis Ngannou, and I'm really intrigued by this fight. So I hope we get to see it by the end of the year. I understand that Gane wants to take a little time for himself. I know Francis will be ready for whenever, but I am all in on this fight, Casey. I am all in on it.
You know, if Gane would have won the way that maybe that we thought he was going to win, 25 minutes of, point fighting, but the fact that he didn't win that way, the fact that he just completely dominated and finished Derek Lewis just in a perfect game, essentially, I gotta say I am sold. So I'm sold, and the excitement level, because there's such two different styles, the storyline and everything is just. Oh, thank you, Chris. So yeah, I'm in. I'm all in. Pushing the ship. I want to see it. Sorry, John Jones. Sorry, Steve.
Did you just get kicked out?
No. They were just confirming that Derek Lewis won't be coming in for the post presser.
Okay.
So we're done with the post presser.
So no Derek Lewis, no one-liners, no balls is hot. And listen, he had a tough night. I don't blame him.
There was,
for not coming,
it's one of those fights. Honestly, there wasn't too much to say, right?
Yeah.
So
What are you gonna say?
Yeah, that sucked. Yeah, but
that wasn't already said. But,
yep.
All right, I think we're done. We'll figure out the post-fight show. I don't know what we're gonna do. Probably just record something, but we'll see. We'll figure it out. We got a lot to do right now. I have to jump on Jose Young's duty right now, so we'll figure out that aspect of it. But Casey, tremendous job. Tremendous job. Well done. You are a true professional, and you are the best in the game, my friend. So thank you for all of your hard work this week. Thank you, all of you, for watching and tuning in to all the stuff we've been doing. Post-fight show coming eventually, and AK and I will be back tomorrow for sure for on to the next one. So make sure you find us on wherever you find your favorite podcast. Casey, I am Mike Heck. Godspeed, everyone.
Bye-bye.